1996 was a great year for Anatoly Karpov. Not only did he successfully defend his world championship against Gadakamsky, he then played in a series of tournaments, Biel, Vienna, and so today we will look at some of his best games from some of these events. Anatoly, welcome to the show.
Queen's Indian is my favorite opening with black. C4, E6, Knight F3, B6, A3. So Portisch is playing all the lines of Queen's Indian with black and with white as well. Bishop B7, Knight C3, D5.
Yeah, of course, Portisch also is an interesting opponent for you because I remember in the match with Karpov in New York, Lyon, 1990, he was one of the trainers helping you.
Yes, and we are good friends for many years, and we were working together, and we played many games since 1972, I believe. The first time we met in San Antonio in Texas.
So he plays C takes D5. Of course, he knows very well that you like to play Knight takes D5. And then he played Queen C2. Of course, this is a very big favorite of Kasparov's, this Queen C2.
Yes, this is modern line, like white tries to get advantage in this opening. So Knight takes C3. This is more precise. To let white to choose what they want to play. B takes C3 or Queen takes C3. It's better to make immediately this choice.
Well, Portisch plays Queen takes C3.
Yes, and now we have two lines, H6 or Knight D7. H6 trying to prevent Bishop G5. Knight D7 is another line which is quite okay.
Well, now, of course, he tries to take advantage of you not playing H6 by playing Bishop to G5, attacking your Queen.
Yes, otherwise black would play Bishop D6 and then no problems, or Rook C8.
Mm-hmm. So now you played Bishop E7.
Yes.
And now his point is that after he exchanges, if you take with the Queen, then he could easily consider Queen takes pawn.
Yes, which is unpleasant.
So first you take with the King, and at first sight this looks pretty unpleasant for black.
Yes, king is in the center, but so two minor pieces are exchanged already, and the question is that when black plays c5, then they cover this dangerous diagonal a3 f8. This is the main danger for black king. So Portisch played e3.
Well, he played e3. Of course, people could ask, well, what about if d5? But on d5, you point out that you can just simply take it. And then after Queen takes G7...
Yes, you can play Knight F6.
Knight F6, for example. And, you know, black is very well centralized, and you're actually ahead in development.
No, now we are maybe 4 moves ahead in development, because, look, of course our king is in the center, but still all pieces are developed, and white needs to play E3 with bishop and then castle, and then queen is in danger, so maybe 4 tempos ahead. That's why nobody plays d5. E3, Rook c8.
Now Portisch had this position before once, and he played b4, but he didn't really get any advantage.
And then he played here bishop e2.
And now you played very enterprising. You played c5. And so he could just castle, and it's a normal game. But instead, he accepted the challenge he took on c5. And after rook takes, then he wanted you to prove, after queen takes pawn, why you sacrificed a pawn.
Yes. So we can see now that black still is a little bit ahead in development. And so rook g8. So we can take this pawn.
So now he
took... Of course, white probably should take on h7, and then rook takes g2. So we can see now, we have 2 active rooks. Bishop on b7 is much better than bishop on e2. And black needs just to bring queen into the game and maybe knight to f6 or maybe e5 if it would be possible. And so Portisch was thinking here for a long time, and so it's strange he didn't feel danger in this position. Because after the game, during analysis, he said that so white was okay and he could make draw almost till the end. But let's have a look how game continued.
Well, in the game, he played queen h4 check. Of course, he wants to exchange queens since he has extra pawn.
Yes, this
but
is
of
clear.
course, you don't have to cooperate. You played knight f6.
Yes, and so white just has this pin, and knight is very, very dangerous piece in this position. So it's good to have control over knight and king.
And the next move he played certainly looks reasonable. Rook on the open file with tempo, attacking your queen. But after queen c2, when we were discussing this game, you pointed out to me that the difference is that your queen and rook are on an open file, and you have a very good entry point waiting. His rook is on an open file, but there's really nowhere for it to come in.
Yes, and also this diagonal is very dangerous because in between we have still two pieces, but any moment it can be open, and so bishop is attacking rook on h1. And so here Portisch played knight d4 because simple threat is rook g4, and after queen h3, rook h5. This is unpleasant.
Well, another point here is you would think, well, what about if he tries to exchange a pair of rooks? But then you have this very nice trick, bishop takes on f3, winning a piece.
Yes.
And so this is bad news.
And still it's necessary to protect c2 square. So Portisch played knight to d4.
And now here you played a very nice move. You said earlier that the main danger to your black king is this diagonal from b4 to e7. And so now here you just played a very quiet move. Just simply a5, just to stop queen b4 check at any moment.
Yes, so it could happen with tempo. We are threatening maybe to play rook c1, just exchange one rook and to open white king.
And bring your queen in.
And bring queen in, yeah.
And then at the right moment the knight comes and everything. So here Portisch in the game played knight to b5, but he can try a few other things. For example, if he plays f4.
Yes, he mentioned this after the game, that he could play f4 and then it would be good. But then he overlooked this very nice tactical
Now, if knight takes, as you were saying, the bishop could take the rook. So, of course, he has to take with the king here.
And then we have rook c2 check. And so if king d3, then bishop e4 mate. Look, this is very nice geometrical structure. Mm-hmm. Bishop e4 mate. And so then if knight takes rook, then queen takes rook d2 is the only move.
Well, again, if king back, you just take the whole rook. Right?
Yes, rook d2, then bishop a6 check. Okay. King e1 is the only move. And then queen c1 check. And then if rook d1, queen takes c3 mate, otherwise black wins the rook.
Mm-hmm. And this is very good cooperation with the queen and bishop.
Yeah, just fantastic, yeah. So that's why f4 was not possible. Bishop f3, this is another possibility, but also it's not so great because black can take on f3. Knight takes.
And then rook c2.
Rook c2.
And now we see what you're talking about when you played a5 to stop queen b4 check.
That's right.
Because now he has no initiative and he has to start protecting.
Simply rook takes b2 or rook takes f2, then knight e4. When you recapture on f2, then knight e4 check and queen c2. So this is very dangerous initiative.
So also, though, he has king d2 to try and flee with his king.
In case of king d2,
rook
takes on f2, and then if rook h2 f1, queen takes h2.
And this is very nice because, again, if queen takes, you take here. He can't play rook takes because you take on h4.
Yes. And so let's have a look at another variation. Rook d to f1.
Now, his idea here, of course, is if you exchange rooks, then your knight will be pinned and double attacked, right?
Yes.
So, of course, But meanwhile, you have to play actively, and so you start to sacrifice again. And
King,
after knight takes,
yes.
and then rook takes on e2 check.
Rook takes on e2 check.
King takes.
King takes there. Queen takes on c2. King e1 is the only move. Then queen c1 check. And so now if king goes to f2, then queen d2 check. And if king goes there, then queen takes on e3 and queen takes f3 mate.
And again, we see the very good cooperation with the queen and bishop.
Yes. And then if king goes to g1, then pawn on e3, then simply queen g2 mate. So that's why Portisch was thinking for a long time again, and so he decided to bring his knight to c3 just to have better chances to defend the position. And so he played knight b5. Having in mind, if black played queen e5, then queen comes to d4, and then knight is threatening on d8, and so this is exchange variation.
But you had a different exchange in mind, it seems.
Yes. Knight d5, rook takes b5.
So actually, after rook takes, he played bishop takes b5,
Yes.
and then after rook g4, the point being that you deflected his bishop from protecting the square, and he actually resigned here.
Yes, because in case of rook d7, check, queen takes d7, and then
after bishop takes.
all the pieces are under attack. If queen takes rook, knight takes queen, bishop takes queen, bishop takes rook, winning.
And so
if queen h3, then simply bishop takes h1, and so white has no any compensation for lost piece.
So actually, this is very amazing to win with black in about 20 moves against a world-class grandmaster.
No, especially against Portisch, because Portisch is a big master playing with white, and I believe that only I have 2 quick victories against Portisch with black. And the first one happened a long time ago in European Championship in 1977. I won also, I think, like 22 moves game.